Hi, it's Rabbi Brusso, and I'm honored to provide this week's Devar Torah, Parshat Toldot, to the Adath community. So clothing has been a symbolic feature in the Torah all the way back to when Adam and Eve first clothed themselves in the Garden of Eden. And then we see the clothing theme continue this week when Jacob puts animal skins on himself to trick his father and gain the birthright. And the theme continues all the way through the story of Joseph when the coat that Jacob gives his son Joseph identifies him separately from his brothers, and then that coat is taken away from him and dipped in animal blood, and Jacob gets the reverse trickery happening to him when he sees the coat and thinks that his son is no longer. And so it continues then, and Joseph wears clothing in Egypt. And his brothers don't recognize him. So all of this has a lot to teach us, one of which is that part of being human is having the ability to hide interior motives with our exterior. We can use different identities in a negative way to deceive and hurt people. But I think this is also teaching us that as human beings, the opposite is true as well. We can use aspects of our identity for good in the world. And that's what I wanted to focus on. We recently celebrated Sari's bat mitzvah, our oldest daughter, in New York, in our congregation there at Bet Torah. It was an amazing experience, and we had some Minnesota folks who were there representing the community, one of whom was Ronnie Halpern, who presented to Sari at the Friday night dinner the paper cut that was gifted to her and that Ronnie has done for so many people in the community. And that paper cut represented aspects of Sari's identity, including Camp Ramah and Solomon Schechter Day School, where she goes to school, her volunteer work with the immigrant population in northern Westchester, where we live, and prominently in that paper cut was the shape of the state of Minnesota on a stick. And that was, for Sari, a real exciting part to see that, because for her, this place is so special. For her in terms of her memories. We're so happy to be in Mount Kisco at Bet Torah. Like Adath, it is a thriving and dynamic shul that's growing. And we are equally thrilled that our kids proudly acknowledge that they are products of the Gan Shalanu, of the Minneapolis Jewish Day School, and Adath, all of which are important aspects of their identity that they not only have on the interior, but they put on their exterior, wear on their sleeves, and talk about proudly their Minnesota upbringing. And speaking of the Garden of Eden, they think of Minnesota as flowing with tables of Shabbat Kiddush baked goods, in particular snickerdoodles, which they think is the greatest treat on the planet, and still haven't found anything close to it where we live. And so our identity is deeply connected to this community where we gave birth to our kids and whose values help us to raise them even today. And for that, Chana and I want to thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.